Hey everybody, this is Trapper Dan with Trapper SNORR. And Trapper SNORR, actually, SNORR stands for Sustainable, Natural, Organic, and Renewable Resource. And I am here live with the Bluegrass Trapper. How's it going?
Good. I'm happy to be here. Kind of an honor for me to be invited. So pretty cool. I haven't done a live in a while. And I guess I would well, you done introduced me, but I'm here in Kentucky, Bluegrass Trapper, if you're not familiar with my channel. And
Yeah, both of us are content creators in trapping. I'm up in New York where it's freezing cold and really snowy. We have had some December. It's been like snow after snow. I own a small business, so clearing the snow there is a little bit of a job too, but definitely getting ready for those trap sets that are tolerant to this kind of weather. How's the weather going down there?
down here, I've been lucky for a while. We've not had too much rain or snow. I've been pretty fortunate the last couple of weeks, other than getting over I've been messing with this head cold or flu for a while, but as far as the weather, it's been nice. The nights have been getting down to about freezing, and daytimes up in the upper 40s. So just perfect this week. But here in Kentucky, it changes a lot. It might do that for a week, and then next week it's liable to rain and freeze.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep up with the chat, but it's going pretty fast. Welcome everybody, and thanks so much for stopping by. Um, so one of the questions was how many traps we have out, and my content creation is based on honesty, and I would have 0 out right now because I just got back from Christmas. I had to travel and see my family in Vermont, and I was telling Enos before we went on the air, I was trying to get reset today, but I ran out of time because I had work to do, but I am fired up. I made these, bobcat flags today to get out on my sets, and, how about you, Enos? What do you have out?
What I got out right now, I put 8 new ones out yesterday. Four of them are kind of close together in one field, and another four. So I would call it four micro locations, I guess. But there's 8 traps in that, and then I have another farm that's got six on it, and it's all the back end of one field. And I got another farm that has probably about 8 or 10 traps on it. So 10, 18, about 20, about 2 dozen. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll have about 30 sets out usually. It depends how many water sets I mix in. Um, I'm trying to definitely be diversified and um, mainly I'm trapping. Well, fish are out of season here, but I had fisher boxes out. Now canine sets, bobcat sets, and then beaver, mink. When the coons wake up, I'll grab a few. Indiana trapper caught a 64-pound beaver this morning. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yay, that's awesome.
I got,
That's a big beaver.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
speaking of beaver, I pulled all my water sets yesterday. I had about 10 water sets out. So
Oh, so, is it Kim was saying she likes the flag. I do wanna say something about this. You know, it's the
Kim Dyson,
preseason
hey,
it's the preseason prep, um, and this I don't know about you guys, but I find, like, tying these things up a little tedious when your hands are frozen out on the line, so I spent the time today because I didn't have time to get out there to tie this up, but, man, having the barrel swivel and having a fishing weight so that this doesn't get tangled up in the trees and it just continues to spin. That's like gold, keeping that
yeah,
thing moving. Because you go
yeah,
back there the next day and it's all tangled in a tree and it's not moving, and then it really wasn't working for you.
yeah, yeah. I put those on mine too. And when it's real cold, like you said, it's kind of tedious trying to tie them up because you got to take your gloves off and all that stuff.
Yeah, your fingers are frozen, and if you're, obviously using fishing line. And one time I was out of fishing line this year and I used some bailing line. So, and
Oh, yeah.
that one fell down the next day. Hey, Mark. Mark J. Larson, he's everywhere. I see him commenting on so many YouTube videos. That's so cool. Good to
Yeah,
see you here. And
yeah, very active.
oh, totals of would you guys share totals of yotes and bobcats? And just curious how the year's treating everybody. I am not a counter, but I do know I only have two coyotes because I'm not a big coyote trapper per se. Um, I have some targeted, but I think I'm somewhere around 15 fox. I got three grays. I got a bunch of beaver. I don't know, a dozen beaver or more. What's behind me there? Oh, a bunch of raccoons. Yeah, I'm not a numbers trapper. I mean, I'm just happy to keep the fur coming in. And how about you, Enos?
For me, I start about towards the end of January where I'll set more sets out. I've just been kind of playing, but I think, 15 coyotes, 4 beavers, 2 otters, 3 bobcats, and I got the coons and possums wrote down, but I don't have it in front of me. I say it's up in the 30s, probably.
Cool. I forgot my bobcats. I got five bobcats, and man, did I miss about three. I had them
Oh
on
man,
camera. I had them on a walkthrough on the camera, and they stepped on the lever, um, and just didn't. One, it looked like even might have gone on the pan. It might have been a little frozen, but it's a good sign. Anyways, I know they're still there, and I'll get them to come back through, and I tightened up the step overs so
yeah,
that they really have to step on it.
yeah. I got cameras on a couple sets. I caught one coyote on camera, but a lot of times they see my camera or something other. I don't know. It just doesn't work out. I'll see them on camera. I'll go check and I'll have them at another set.
So
And
Owen Mulligan, he's a buddy of mine. He had a bobcat walk all over. Oh, the cinder block set. I know where he has that one, and the trap was frozen, so it never went off. Oh, bummer. So Owen, I had a big tom go right through that spot. Owen and I trap a club together, and man, we'll get him to come back, buddy. We'll get him to come back. If there's
yeah,
food around there, they're gonna stay around. Um, they're gonna keep coming through on that pattern. Sometimes it's longer than you want, but we still have time. We can bobcat trap till I think the 15th of February in New York. Guys out there can correct me if I'm wrong. How about you guys with bobcats? Do you have a unlimited bag there in Kentucky?
no, we're at a limit of 5. And if we sent the lower two jaws in, the lower jaws in, for every two we send in, we can get an extra tag the following year. But good news, they just passed to up our limit to double that next year, but it doesn't
Cool.
go in effect until about July. I just talked to the game warden yesterday, but so we'll be able to get 10. We have a otter limit of 6,
Gotcha.
and oh yeah. Hey, I just wanted to say right off the bat, I see some people coming through the chats, and if I don't say your name, I do apologize for going through kind of fast. Kyle
Yeah,
Wacker, hey, how's it going? He's up there in New York too.
nice. Coyote Whacker. Cool. I watch
Yep.
your videos. He's a good content creator too. Uh Danches. Did you see any others that you missed, by the way?
I'm sure I missed a bunch. They're kind of small on my end over here. And so I've been trying to look, but I just wanted everybody to know I see you if I don't have time to say your name. I try to catch everybody coming through and I appreciate it.
Well, Enos and I got together because he was commenting on my content and I was commenting on his, and I was like, this guy's so cool. Like, let's just do a live show together. I heard you on the Trap House podcast, and honestly, my hat's off to you, man. You're always down to earth and honest, and you tell it like it is. You help other trappers, and that's what I like Trapper Snore to be all about too, so I thought it'd be cool if we did this together.
Yeah, I'm honored to be on here, and I try to keep it real as possible. So yeah, I try to keep it real and just be humble. Trapping will humble you if you're not already humble. When
Yeah.
you go out there and start trapping.
Yeah, it's nature and it's the animals can decide what they wanna do, but, we do the best we can and learn from each other, and what would be your, like, what would be your recommendation for a beginning trapper, like, one of your biggest just a your main recommendation?
I would say if you want to get into trapping, get you some dog pros. Go out, catch a few coons, and I know everybody wants to catch a coyote or a bobcat or something like that, but I think dog pros open the gate to trapping because it's simple, easy. It's going to give them an idea if they like it or not, because they'll have to go check them, and if it excites them to catch coons, then just keep improving. Just keep if it's something that you want to do. I see some people buy traps and trapping supplies, and they go out and they try to catch a coyote, and they get frustrated the first year because it's coyotes are everything you trap has its own, you know, unique skill that you got to have. But I feel like coons is a great way to start.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Gary said that he just got some wax dirt and he's planning to set some, whoops, it jumped on me, setting for, coyotes next week, but they can't do any footholds in New Jersey. Yeah, that's
Oh
interesting.
man,
No
that's a
foothold.
bummer.
Yeah,
So
that's
are you using cages, Gary?
it
Well, you
says
said wax dirt. So
collarums. I don't even know what collarums are. Maybe you can help us out there on that one. Um,
yeah, I don't either.
and someone said, do we all, use snares? And, we New York State snares are not legal. We are trying to get, cable restraints passed by our, state senate and governor, and it's been in the works for a number of years, and it's getting close. So that'd be really good for us. How about you guys down in Kentucky?
Hey, I think I'm froze up on here. I'm not moving on the screen. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay, but I did notice you were frozen. I didn't know if that was for everyone, but it must be. It might be
Yeah, I
your internet connection there at your fur shed, your fur corner.
well, I got it plugged in. It
Hmm.
should be good, but who knows?
35 coons and 20 some possums. I know the possums. Those possums clogged up my fisher boxes this year so bad. It was like every day. I was like, I didn't even know that many possums existed. Um, Most of them were not anything worth keeping, but on the properties I was at, it was definitely helpful for the, nest rating, take down the nest rating. What's up there? It's Iowa Trapper. Oh, we got a lot of people out there chatting it up. So can you still hear
Yeah,
me
heck
now?
yeah. I can still hear you. I don't know why I'm froze up here, but it might be has something to do with my internet, I suppose.
Could be. At least it's a good shot
Oh,
of you right now.
well,
Um, so I would say my recommendation for the beginning trapper is, and I kind of thought about this year, is that a good set that you're really confident about is better than going out and setting a whole bunch of sets that are you're just trying to do too much and they're not really well done. So that would be,
yeah, I definitely agree.
have confidence that you got your trap in solid, and that you blend your set in well depending on what your target species is. Mainly I'm talking about getting that foothold in, because I think everybody, you know, in the states that allow them want to know how to get a good foothold trap in. And I think it does take a while to get the knack. Even at the beginning of each season, you're, getting your muscle memory back. And I
Yeah,
always love watching guys and gals bed foothold traps because I love just watching everything about how people do it.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
you.
Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, I like watching other people do it too because everybody's got their own unique way. Some of them turn the traps different than others, and I turn mine two different ways for depends on what set, and it's just but they always have to be solid, in my opinion. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and Ottercat said that, the number one thing is a new trapper should join an association. Yep, join Fur Takers of America or the NTA, National Trappers Association, your local club or association, your county, your town, your state. Yeah, that all helps all of us keep this going. And apparently, we could both be frozen. If someone could comment if I'm frozen out there.
Well, you're still moving on. I still see you moving.
Hmm.
I don't know what in the heck's going on with mine. Actually, if since I'm not moving, I might run to the door and make sure the Wi-Fi is still, the internet's not
Yeah.
getting disconnect or something.
So Kim Dyson's first set was a T-bone set. That's cool. I think T-bone sets are awesome, very productive. I got my first bobcat this year on a T-bone at an intersection, and I had seen the cats going through there on camera, and I did a one episode just on hunting for T-bones at a farm. I was on a big compost pile. That was smelly, but man, I got a whole bucket of T-bones. So Mark says only Enos was frozen up. So if I was frozen up on someone's screen, it might be more on your end. The NTA convention will be in Richmond, Indiana this year. Should be a good time. Yeah, that's awesome. I love convention season. We can all get out there and meet each other. I love watching the demos. And
Did I miss anything?
um, I don't think so. We got a lot of good comments coming in. I'm sorry about maybe you might be able to disconnect your camera or leave entirely and then come back. How about this? How
Oh,
about I'll kick you out and then you can go ahead and reconnect and we'll see if the camera connects.
all right, yeah, we'll try.
All right. Sorry about that, everybody. I just booted the Bluegrass Trapper back to Kentucky. And he's gonna come back in. He's got the link again, so when I see him here in the studio, we'll get him back in. But thank you so much for coming, everybody. Hey, there's my buddy Trapper Joel. Yeah, I am back from Vermont. I really wanted to get out, Joel, and get some of those traps reset today because everybody's sitting in the snow, all closed up like this. And I'm sure in my cameras, there's critters walking by and sniffing and stepping right where I wanted them to. Last year, I was saying the worst thing about trapping is when you actually have to trip your traps off, and if you have to go somewhere and you can't check them. Here in New York, we got a 24-hour check, so we gotta be we gotta be back out there every day. And if you can't, you gotta turn them off. So that's the wrong camera. I'm gonna turn that one off. So maybe I'll put Bluegrass Trapper on because he can't hear me unless he's on. So Enos, you have a GoPro webcam picture up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I see it. GoPro is on. I'm not sure why it's not connecting. I'm actually going to try to connect it to a different USB port here.
Okay,
Maybe,
no problem, buddy.
maybe, maybe
No
that'll
problem.
fix it.
So for everybody out there, here's a question for you. Like to see some comments on what's your favorite trap? Uh, I haven't thought about that much myself. I mean, really, probably it would have to be the MB 550 for me because it's what I do use the most. I find the two coil to be a pretty friendly trap to non-target catches. I can get it off easy and release them without harm. I have a bunch of, no BS KO juniors, which I really, really like. Um, but those are, they're wire lever
Alright,
and
I'm back.
hey, he's back. Awesome. Good job with the chat work there.
Thanks.
Uh, anyways, to finish that, those wire lever, KO juniors they're really fast. What a incredibly solid built trap. I love them. But I just don't need them for, fox trapping. So it's just I set them up for my bobcats because they're not really needed for bobcats either, but I need something that's going to make sure it's going off. How about you? Do you have a favorite trap?
I use, Duke 550s mostly, and, they're real good solid trap for the money, I think, and, Bill Duke sponsors my channel, so, I'm probably just gonna stick with Dukes. I I like them. 'Em, they'll hold anything that I ever need to that I got here in Kentucky that to catch, so, I like the cast jaws. I won't hardly buy a trap without cast jaws anymore unless
Yeah.
it's for beaver trapping.
Yeah, I see comments coming in. Favorite traps and no BS. We the Duke 450, the MB
Yeah.
550 offset for Mark, and some Danchez likes the MB 650. I really love the 650, but it's just not legal here in New York. But that
Yeah, I do too. I like the Duke 650s as well, but they're just a little bit big for land trapping. We have a 6-inch jaw spread law here in
yeah,
Kentucky.
ours is 5 3/4. I know that sometimes trappers get the 650 and then they laminate the inside to bring it down so it's legal. So that's a
Well, I measured the Dukes, and I guess it depends who you ask. I think some people might use them here, but if you measure my tape measure, it showed right on 6 inches, but the specs say 6 1/8.
interesting. Yeah. Correction, Kim likes the 550 instead of the 450. The 450 is a cool size trap. I don't have any. But I like the concept. It's good for fox and it's strong. I know is, kind of a big thing for Duke to come out with those.
I
Um,
really like them for a fox. I caught
yep.
a big bobcat in one, and it holds just fine. They're just a little small.
Yeah, Gary likes the Extreme Junior offset too. Yeah. That's the ones I have. I think those no BS traps, honestly, you could pass them down for like 10 generations. They're just
Yeah,
they're so solid. I brought a dozen back from Wyoming when I went out there and trapped with Chappie, and I put them in my luggage. And man, that was some heavy luggage.
yeah, I
So
bet.
yeah, Mark's a big fan of the Duke Pro series. Um, Joel likes number 3 laminated dogless Montana. Cool. I trapped with him, Greg Tierney this year. I went out to his place in central New York, coyote trapping. That was a blast. And he uses the Jake traps and
I
Jason.
I watched that video.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it was a good video. He done a great job filming, and looked like a lot of fun.
It was a ton of fun. I camped out in his backyard and it was early season. We had good success and Greg's a real detailed, he keeps a chart in a book that he pulls out at every set and he knows exactly what he put there and what his changeup might be if he gets a catch, and it was very interesting to follow along with his style. He also does the what he calls the runway set. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a trail set that I don't use that much, but I got a gray fox on it here this year, and one of those coyotes on it too.
I
It's a
started using that set last year. He called me up and well, he messaged me on Facebook. We wound up exchanging numbers, and he called me and explained the set to me, and I started using it. I would do a dirt hole set and then do one of those. Last year I was calling it the tyranny set, but I noticed he's calling it the runway set. But I caught three doubles last year, and one of them was on that set, and the other one at either T-bone or dirt hole. But I like using them as a change up.
oh, I think your internet broke up a little bit there, but you were talking about that runway set. I'm just gonna go quick and answer some of these. Uh, oh, Greg Tierney's out there. He's on. Hey, Greg, good to see you.
Hey, Greg.
And yeah, thanks. I really enjoyed being on your line with you. And when Wentz was a boy in 1960, the things are bouncing so fast it's hard for me to read them. We had
Yeah,
a deadfall trapper. Have y'all ever used a deadfall trap? I've never. I don't know
I
exactly.
haven't.
I don't know what a
I've
dead
used a shoestring.
in Boy Scouts. I think we tried that. You know, with the box and the stick underneath.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
caught my first catch in a snare with a shoestring. I didn't hold it, but I caught it.
that's cool. Indiana
It was
Trapper
just
wants us to talk about bait and lure habituation. I'd heard guys digging up their bait and lure when pulling sets to keep the coyotes from becoming used to it. That's interesting.
hmm.
I've, I mean, I don't pull my sets long enough that I would be worried about that, but I'm not sure I would worry about that too much. I have some places where I pulled and then I went out scouting after season and I could see there was continued animal activity where those old sets were. And to me, that was just like, man, that lure just lasts forever. Like,
Yeah, that's what I went out a month later and see where it be dug up.
yep.
And the way I look at it is, well, there you go. You got a free meal this time. you know.
Yeah. I mean, this year I did a preseason set. I call it the Lobotsky, because my first trapping mentor taught me to make this. And it's basically a big hole under a rock that an animal can't move that rock. It's a big enough rock. And then you dig vent holes and he would put, tainted fish under there and just let everybody come in and dig at it and get used to it. And then when trapping season opens, throw the traps in. And a lot of
Oh
the,
yeah,
you know,
I've
yeah,
seen something like that too on TikTok. Old trapper or trapper man. I can't remember what he calls himself on there, but he buried a beaver carcass and let him just dig at it, and then he set traps when it was time and started
yeah,
catching.
yeah, they got used to it. So Ottercat says that coyotes are worse than fox or cats about getting used to lures or baits. I mean, yeah, I think coyotes, they're the most nervous, spookiest animals out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know even some of the trappers who I think are some of the best trappers in the nation, they'll do things like switch lures to, make sure that they're changing it up, right? They're not uh, not allowing the animal to associate the lure smell with the trap site. Wouldn't you?
I
Do
do
you do
feel
anything
like
like
if you
that?
got a I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yep.
Oh, I feel like if you have a whole bunch of dirt hole sets out there for a long time, and I do feel like and you use the same bait and lure in all of them, which I don't never I always change it up. I use different baits and different lures, but I do feel like they would eventually get used to that smell, and if they don't like it, you know, the first few times they smell it, they're probably just gonna walk past it eventually.
I think the same thing. I think that it's hard for us to realize how good the nose of a canine is, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, um, even, I consider someone like Tommy Bryant, like, he's, one of my heroes. He's just such a incredible trapper, and, I had him on, Trapper Snore this year, and he was talking about he'll use actually, he's not a lure guy, he uses bait, but bait that may have lure in it, and he'll just use 2 baits a season, and he'll change it
Oh,
up the
yeah.
next season. But I think he's going to enough. He has a
Different.
huge area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I trap a lot of different farms too. I usually have my stuff spread out pretty good. Like right now, I got a few traps on 3 different farms, but I could add a lot more traps to either one of those farms. But I just try to cover the main areas that I feel like you know
yeah,
are good travel ways or whatever, or pinch points or whatever. And
yeah,
uh, and I also feel like you can overset a farm um, because a lot of those coyotes are coming through certain areas, and you can set a whole lot of sets, but still catch about the same amount. As long as you got all the good places covered, I feel like you're good to go.
yeah. I think you're totally right, and I know even, it's called trapping against yourself. If you got a 200-acre farm and you got 30 sets out there, it's too much, and
Yeah,
you're
because that
working too
animal's
many.
gonna come right past the next trap. Like if he don't get caught in this one, he's probably gonna come past the next one. I've seen that with trail camera quite a bit. I'll get him on trail camera by one set. I won't have them, but I'm liable to have them in one. I usually have them in one of my other sets. So for whatever reason, but there's only so much ground they cover
Yeah.
on one property.
And, I think it's, West Virginia, maybe, WV Hunting. He agrees or she agrees with the lure change up every so often. This might be if Trapper Joel's still watching. Um, I learn a lot from Trapper Joel, and he was telling me about, getting more into like a matrix, um, lure for canine about now, since they're starting to mate now. So, starting early on, not using that, but using a matrix like a night owl has a matrix mix lure that will hopefully build that curiosity and that interest to step in your trap.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't start using a lot of strong gland lures and stuff until about now. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes you can spook them with coyote gland. I've seen them on trail camera, especially the young ones. They don't want to get their butt kicked by whatever gland that come from because they know it's a different coyote than what's in the family unit.
Yep. There you
Especially when
go.
they just get kicked out of their family or whatever. Uh, you know,
Yeah. So Jason says, what kind of cameras do you guys use? So this has been a surprise to me, but I was just approached by a camera company. They're going to be sending me some free equipment because they would love me to review it. And I agreed because it's actually the camera I use. I use Guard Pro cameras,
oh,
and
those are nice.
I have always used Guard Pro, and I don't use really expensive cameras because I don't really care about the cellular thing. I don't need that. In fact, it would probably keep me up at night. I'd rather go out and check my traps normally and then use my cameras to see what happened afterwards. Um,
Yeah,
watch Trapper Snore because they made me promise them that I would do a review within 2 weeks. so I'm I'm okay. It's okay because I'm due to tell people about my cameras, but I think the no glow is important for coyotes.
yeah,
Like you were saying, they were spook. Sometimes the camera spook a coyote even if it's no glow, right?
Yeah. I use no glow, reveal or guard pro. I got a guard pro that it's my favorite camera and it's no glow. It's a cellular, but it did keep me up one night. Sometimes it does, especially if you catch something and you're afraid it's going to get loose. And but I could log in live and all that stuff. But even though it's no glow, I have had coyotes, and I don't know if it's where I placed it or whatever. But I felt like they shied away from it. But I feel like it was just. I don't think it was the glow because it's supposed to be no glow. So I
Right.
think it was just the camera.
I think once in a while, and I don't know how it happens, but there might be a slight little sound that comes out of a camera, a click or something. Because 'cause I've seen before where a coyote will just turn and look at it instantly, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"There's nothing that would make him do that unless it made a sound."
yeah,
Um,
and it might be something we couldn't even hear.
exactly, yeah, like, totally. Uh, but I have found, the guard pros, like I have video of anybody who watches my channel, like, they walk right in front of it, they'll sit right there, they don't it doesn't bother them at all. Um, we got so many comments coming in. I wanted to get back to one that I already forgot. But I do want to give a shout out to something that I'm doing here in Red Hook in case anybody's local enough. So I am giving a free trapping class and just holding up the paper here. And that's going to be on January 11th. We're going to have like 5 or 6 different trapping instructors, and it's gonna be at the, Four Corners Community Farm. So, yeah, you can, reach out to me. Trapper Dan at trappersnore.com. I think I can put that up. I can show at least the website, trappersnore.com. And if you're in New York or you're in Pennsylvania or whatever, you wanna come up for the day, we're gonna do that from 9:30 in the morning to 12:30, and it's we're going to go out and set footholds. We're going to do land trapping. We're going to do water trapping. Trapper Joel will be there. So before I forgot, I just wanted to give a shout out about that class. Do you guys? What do you do? I know that you did some demos, right, Enos?
Yeah, I've done some demos different places, and we have the Hoover brothers not far from me. Me and them get together every year and have like a little trapping day where we do demos. We get different people in to do demos, and people can buy trapping supplies. Kind of like a little convention thing for one day. Eventually, I do want to. I mean, I take people with me on the trap line sometimes
Awesome.
per request, but I do eventually want to fix up some kind of class, like an in-person class where we can during trapping season, where I can actually take somebody for 3 days and do some real trapping.
That's awesome. Yeah, do like a ride along and get someone out there experiencing it. You know, that's how you get people hooked. That's why in our class we try to not just be like in a classroom. We get out there and we do it with them. And I've been doing this class for this will be my 4th year. Usually it's for kids. We try to get the youth in. This year I said, there's probably a lot of people out there, adults who might be interested. I can't believe it, but we have 22 people signed up now.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm really excited
great.
about that. So, uh, been working hard on it. I know what that question was that I missed. It was, what's your favorite lures? Uh, I'm gonna let Enos go first on that.
Actually, I don't know if I have any. I have a bait that I don't like to be caught without, but and a lot of the baits nowadays I think have lure ingredients in them. But I don't know that I could say that I have a favorite. I use so many different ones. Honestly, most time I feel like if you buy them from a reputable company that sells lures, they're probably going to work. Um, like I say, I have a bait that I use. I use a lot of Top Dog from Hoosier Trapping Supplies, and I don't like to be caught without it. and part of that is a me thing, I think, more than some of the other factors because I had early on success with it when I started using it, and I've always had success with it.
Yeah.
But I have other ones that I have success with too. But that's one that I use every year.
I use Top Dog as well. And my answer is kind of similar to yours. First of all, I'm a lure and bait junkie. So when I go to the convention, I just keep getting more and more, and my shelf's right in front of me. I can't spin my camera around, but like my lure and bait bag is getting too heavy right now because I keep like adding something else I might want to use. But just to throw out a few names, obviously some, very popular ones, Leggett's, Cavens, Minnesota brand, Night Owl, um, Predator Control Group, of course, Dunlap and She Traps, Lennon's. I mean, yeah, that's like just in front of me here. I'm probably missing some. Um, it's yeah, it's kind of like a candy store for trappers, right? When you
Yeah.
you see all those and you're like, oh, I want to try this one and that one.
I use a lot of those brands too. I do try to support local people as well. I use a
Hmm.
lot of Tandy stuff, Tandy's lures. I've been using his stuff for a few years now, and he makes great product. And he's here in Kentucky, so I try to support the local guys too. And but I do use a lot of Dunlap or some Dunlap and sheet traps, Leggets, and all those big name lures. I feel like they have a lot of good products.
They do, they do, and I'll use my own. I try to use my own beaver caster lure, which is it's no secret. It's just beaver caster with bobcat urine, and I like to use that on my bobcat sets. Uh, I find that, I mean, when I started trapping and I was taking beaver caster and putting it out on these swamps, I kept having bobcats and coyotes come in, and I'm like, man, everything likes caster.
Yep.
Uh, so it's a proven aroma. It somehow gets through, and so I used
Oh,
my own on that. I made some beaver tail oil too, uh, that I use, and I have one bait, my own bait. It's called Bud's Trapline Buffet. I've never sold it. I just use it for myself, but this year I ran out. But I give it away to some friends, and it works.
yeah. I use some of my own too that I make, and then there's Blakely's Trapping, Coon Creek Trappers. Those are new ones that I'm using this year. I usually wind up with new ones every year on from different companies. But you were speaking of beaver. Beaver kind of everything's attracted to it, and same with skunk. And so whenever I get done cleaning a beaver, the scraps around after I cut the casters out and those scraps around there, I'll throw them right down a dirt hole fresh and catch stuff on them.
It's amazing. Yeah, beaver is just it's the animal that attracts everything. And like I said, skunk. I heard, for example, obviously skunk is a big smell to put somewhere as an attractor for your fisher set. And however, there's some places where fisher live where there's no skunks. Skunks don't even live there, but you can
Yeah,
still get them to come into that smell.
that's crazy.
So it's
That
not like
that's kind of wild.
yeah, they don't have an association with it. It's just a curiosity smell that they can't resist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One thing I
go ahead.
one thing I do with skunk is if I'm using real strong skunky lure, like a long call lure or something, I always put it up high. Like if my trap's close to a limb or something other, or I put it down the hole. I never put it on top of the ground because
Mhm.
coyotes love rolling in it if it's on top.
There
But
you
if
go.
it's down the hole, they know it's down there. They have to dig it out. Or if
Yep,
it's up high, it'll just bring them in the area, but they can't roll on it.
that's a really good tip, yeah. Joel Trapper Joel said his three favorite lures are Bearded Man Beaver Lure, John Pingley's 1812, and Night Owl Brushfire for canines. Cool. Thanks, Joel. Beaver tail oil. Jason says beaver tail oil is great for the base of baits and lures, especially for canine. And even by itself, it works great. I know Greg Tierney was showing me he uses that triple hole, and he likes to use that beaver tail oil. I think down the middle hole, if I remember right. One of those is kind of like a habit of his.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff.
How did you decide to be a content creator?
I guess I was watching some other people that popped up. I didn't watch YouTube for a long time. I didn't even know I could get it on my phone for a long time, but uh I think I was watching Trapper Che or somebody like that and a couple other people on there, and I just decided one day that hey, that might be interesting. Spread the word. I didn't realize how many trappers are still out there because I thought it was pretty much I was the only one around here that trapped, and it didn't take me long to realize people started commenting on it, and so it just went from there. I just one day decided to do it and
Just
just see what
decided.
happened.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of subscribers. And by the way, if anybody's watching that's not subscribed to us, we would both appreciate it if you did. I know both of us work really hard at being content creators, and we do it to try to get to continue to show the benefits of trapping to the world. Um,
Yep.
we have, I know I have subscribers in Europe and um, a lot in the United States, all around, and it's pretty cool how far the videos can go. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have ones from previous seasons that are still, getting watched, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. I went and deleted some of my really old ones because they kind of suck when I went back and looked at them.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's videos from last year that I still get comments on here and there, and so that's kind of neat,
Yeah, it's
and it
pretty.
kind of makes you think. You need to be show positive. Don't be crazy on there because. Uh, but at the same time, some people, some of the old time trappers, I have heard some of them. They didn't think it was a good idea to put it on YouTube, but I feel like we can't hide it. Like we need to just put it out there. It's something that's important and needs to be shared. You're gonna have some people that don't like it, but the more it's out there, the more people realize that it's still a thing.
Yeah, newbie says that he likes both of our channels because we're ethical, and know, we were attracted to each other, and that's why we're here today. By the way, folks, it took us a couple weeks to get this technology to work.
Yeah,
I met a few times to make sure this worked, and it was a little hectic. So we're like happy this is happening. Um, on your comments there, one of my other things too that I find important to my content creation is that I feel like there's trappers out there that can't get out and do it anymore, and that
oh yes,
they can live it through us, if
yeah,
we, show the reality of the trap line. Like, I hope someday when I can't get out there and trap that someone like me is making videos and I can like live that real experience through them. Um,
exactly.
yeah,
I feel like I have a lot of people that watch and has actually reached out to me and told me the same thing that and I've had people reach out to me that got back into trapping after being retired and stuff because they said I reminded them of the things they used to do when they were kids. They trapped a little when they were kids, and they stumbled upon my channel, and it took them back to their youth, and they missed it,
yeah,
and they
that's
wanted to know
awesome.
what changed. You know.
Mark's Trapping. Thank you, Mark's Trapping and Outdoors. You just subscribed to Trapper Snore. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Um, I'm a small channel compared to Enos. He's got a good run on me. I think you have like 16,000 subscribers or more, 18,000. You're up there.
I think, yeah, like 18. But uh, your channel's awesome. Like I watched some of your videos, and you're gonna continue to grow and do good. I like how you keep it real, and your filming is better than mine. I think in some areas because I like the shots you get.
Oh, well, thank
Like
you
a lot of
so much.
times I'm in a hurry and I don't take time to get the best shots that I really should.
I
And
I'm right there with you. I know sometimes, us as content creators, sometimes we could catch more fur if we didn't have to stop and play with cameras and microphones. And sometimes you're like, all right,
definitely.
I'm not going to film this because I got to get to my next set.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
but thank you, everybody. We got some nice compliments coming in on our content, and we really do appreciate that. The work is afterwards. You're constantly creating content, but then editing that's the work. You got
Yeah.
every episode that comes out takes hours of editing to get it right.
Yeah.
I just love making it. Honestly, I love it. I'm as addicted to content creating as I am to trapping, just because I just love the whole aspect of video, audio, and capturing moments in time that will be there forever. And with trapping, it's so real and the education of it, and I'm learning at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I-
And our kids will be able to, our grandkids or whatever, will be able to watch that too. You know, even if even if we're dead and gone, they'll be able to. Somebody will show them, "Hey, that was your great grandpa or whatever." If we're around that long, and
yeah.
or if the videos are around that long.
Who
But
made your bobcat hat there, Bluegrass? Are you gonna wear it
that's
again?
you talking about the coyote hat right there?
Oh, I guess so. It's from Timothy asked.
That was the first coyote I ever tanned, and I had uh people that are kind of local. They're about 30 miles away to make it into a hat. I didn't do the best job tanning it, but they did a really nice job with the hat part of it,
Awesome.
all leather. And then that mink right there, I caught it last year and had it tanned. I got a chump trap there that my neighbor gave me um, tonight, so I'm gonna catch the mink in that. Try to just because it's old.
That's awesome. I want to get a gray fox hat made out of one of these gray fox back here that I got this year. I'm gonna have Andrew Westerman make that for me, and hopefully my son's not watching because I want to have one made for him as a gift.
That'd
Uh,
be nice. Yeah,
yeah, it'd be cool, like what I caught, and for it's a lifetime gift. It's forever and
yeah.
ever, and
I want to put one of each animal up once. I want to build me this is the corner in my garage that I use, but I want to build me an actual dedicated fur shed, and then I want to hang one of each animal I've ever caught tan on the wall. And so yeah, even a possum, I'll get them all tan.
nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd like to work on that too. I'm trying to get them all tan so they have them for educational classes too. Because
yeah,
I feel like when people touch fur, when people feel fur, tanned fur, then there's this appreciation that you can't resist. And then you want to learn about trapping because you feel the quality of real fur.
yeah,
Um, we got some recommendations coming in for our editing. So, um, for your shoot shorter clips for easier edits, don't be scared to buy a powerful computer for and a big monitor. I do have a big monitor, and I have some really fast hard drives, which help me. Thank you, just passing through. But
yeah.
you can always spend more money on more good stuff. That's
Oh
true.
yeah, definitely. I started shooting with two cameras for pretty much now. I got a guy that's now editing for me, and it frees up a lot of time. I enjoyed the editing. It just took a long time, but I
Yeah.
enjoy going back through the footage. And for some reason, even though I shot it, I still enjoy it to go back through it.
Yeah, and sometimes you catch things that you didn't catch when you were shooting it, right? You're like,
Yeah,
"Hey, huh,
yeah,
notice something
yeah.
different in there." You're getting some compliments from Kim. She loves watching your videos while she's drinking morning coffee, or if it's he, I
Yeah,
don't know.
Kim is actually a guy. He's a friend of mine from
Got
Arkansas,
awesome.
and he come down a couple times last summer and brought me some stuff. So I appreciate it, Kim. Yeah, he always likes to watch it with his coffee. He says, yeah,
West Virginia, he has his wife editing his videos. That's handy.
yeah. I got so my nephew started editing for me, and he's giving me some pointers on shots too. But I'm now always rolling with two cameras so I can get at least two different angles. I just put my GoPro on my head because there's some stuff that you don't capture if you're just doing it with one camera or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna improve my content. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Um, I had another question here for you. And what do you like best, the setting or the checking? And you guys out there can comment on that too.
Hey, I appreciate that, Kim. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's
Checking.
okay.
What do I like to do best? Setting or checking?
Yeah,
When I'm setting traps, I'm already anticipating on checking them. I like it both. I like it both, but I think checking is probably the most exciting for me.
yeah, it's kind of like seeing if what you did worked, so you're like
Yeah,
excited to get to the next trap. I love it like when I'm halfway through my trap line and I still I know that I still have 50% more traps to check. It's
yeah,
like
I do too. And I'm always looking forward to checking all the way down to the last set. I'm like, all right, I only got one left, but that could be the best one today. You know.
yeah, yeah, you never know. It could be the last trap could be the one that has the catch that you wanted or things happened right. And sometimes you get to know the animals that are in on your property, the populations, when you've missed them, and then all of a sudden now you're really excited to see if you can get them. It's that way for me with bobcats because we have a
Yeah.
really good population here, and I know their patterns, so I'm usually just waiting for them.
They always surprise me a lot. Not always, but they're unpredictable in some ways because they're easily distracted by things they see, and they do what they want when they want, which I guess all animals do. But bobcats are like all over the place, and well, I'll have a couple nice bobcat sets out, and can't wait to catch one in it. And I'll come out and have it on the other side of the farm in one of my coyote sets.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I
Mark
do catch them in.
Yep, Mark was saying he would be a moderator for us, but I apologize, Mark. I do not know how to share that with you, but I would definitely have you help out, buddy. But we'll have to do that next time, I guess, when I learn more about this. West Virginia likes remakes. He likes remakes the best.
Yeah, I like remakes too.
Yeah. What do you like about them?
I just feel like it's got all the scent and stuff already there from the catch before,
Yeah.
and I catch a lot of coyotes in remakes.
Yeah. This year I got 6 fox in one on one spot. That's never happened for me before. It was like I just felt like every morning I came around the corner, there was a fox in that trap, and I was like, "Wow."
Yeah,
This
sometimes you get that one set that just keeps producing.
Yep, and like you said, I think it has a lot to do with that aroma that the first one left, and it just kept building. you catch another one, and then there's double the aroma and
Yeah.
double the interest. Plus, if it's a great location, um, eye appeal. Yeah, I was trying to catch up with some of the other comments. So,
Yeah,
have you trapped
Mark
in
too.
any other states? That
Uh, no, I haven't. I want to. I wanna go around eventually, that one thing I wanna do, I wanna go trap a bunch of different states. I'll have to start with one state at a time, but that's eventually what I wanna do.
that's cool.
That's
What would
that's
be
like a
like
dream or goal.
I definitely had a dream answered last year when I got to go trapping out in Wyoming with Chappie, and that was a real eye opener. I felt like I learned a lot, not only from him, but just about different territories, and it's a whole different style of trapping. Um, and I was able to bring some of those lessons back. Um, yeah, that'd be awesome to be able to just go. What's one of your states that you would like to hit first? Or
I'd love to go out west and get some of those western coyotes, and I also like to get some of those western bobcats.
yeah,
But I went to Colorado and worked on on a ranch for a summer, and they had some really pretty coyotes. Unfortunately, you can't trap in Colorado with footholds, not unless you're like a nuisance control operator. Then I'm not sure, but just in general. But it was a shame because they had some really nice coyotes. But I would like to go somewhere where they allow trapping with footholds, obviously. But
yeah, it's a shame that there are some states that don't have trapping, and like the no footholds in New Jersey, and I think Massachusetts too. And public land in New Mexico, and obviously California. So we got to keep showing people that trapping is a sustainable, natural, organic, and renewable resource, and
exactly,
it's a healthy lifestyle. Like I feel like I'm just addicted to getting outdoors because of trapping,
yeah.
and
You
um,
learn so much about the animals, and you have to in order to catch them.
yep. And every day is another day you can learn something. That's what I like about it. Like it's never ending. You learn from nature, you learn from what you do, and you can learn from other trappers. And I love that part about it, that for the rest of my life I could continue trapping as long as I want, and I'm going to continue learning.
Yeah, yeah, you'll keep learning. Hey, Kyle Wacker, I appreciate that. We made some great memories last year. He come down from upstate New York and trapped with me on a hunting lease, and we had a great time. I was just thinking how I missed that the other day. You have to come back. I plan on starting on that lease again about January,
Oh,
about
there you go.
late. Well, it's January now, but late January. Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry.
Yeah, shout out to Coyote Whacker. If people are watching and you aren't subscribed, you should check out Coyote Whacker's channel too, because he has some great videos, and he's a well-established content creator. And Mark J. Larson Outdoors as well. I mean, there's a lot of content creators actually watching here. So just look in the chat and click on some of those guys and gals, and get over to their channels and subscribe. And uh, the YouTube algorithm picks up on that, it starts to say, hey, people are liking this, and then it exposes our trapping videos to more people.
Yeah. Hey, Kim,
Last
I would
year
love.
we had that scare last year where trapping channels were getting shut down and demonetized and everything. And did you have any troubles with that?
No, I didn't. I don't know if it. I seen one email from one of those guys that got demonetized, and they basically done it. If they, I don't know. They said something about if they don't feel like it's educational, or like they had another word for it, like historic, like I can't remember exactly what the email said, but basically, if they didn't feel like it was either educational or um, showing the history of it or something like that, that They just, I don't know. I think that's why they demonetized some of them. But
Yeah. It seems like most of those that I saw that got shut down are back.
yeah,
So that's a good thing. I feel like it might have been something with AI and a robot inside of YouTube that was,
it probably was.
you
And
know.
those guys in California or wherever they're at that are demonetizing, they shouldn't be able to make the call on whether they think, um, they don't take the time to learn about what we do. I feel like, and they
Yeah.
just automatically, oh, it's bad because there's an animal in a trap or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's, we're both ethical trappers, and we also try to be careful about not putting the, you know, blood on the screen and those kind of things that could be used against trapping. Um and that for the most part, like, we don't dispatch live because we don't need to show that. You
Right.
want to start trapping, you're going to learn dispatching, and it's an important thing to, and it's a personal thing to learn. Yeah, so hopefully we don't get shut down. um Working hard to, do these videos, and would love for them to stay out there just like yours.
Yeah. That one thing about having somebody editing the videos for you is sometimes I leave the camera rolling, and so I've told my nephew, I was like, be careful, like showing dispatches and stuff, because since I'm not the one editing it, I got to make sure we don't show. We have shown some that were kind of educational, like just showing that it's humane and quick, but
Yep.
for the most part, we try not to.
Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, me too. I started this year using the death ray. Um, so it's basically a pump choke. Do you know about the
Oh
death?
yeah,
Yeah. So I use that on raccoons and fox. I wasn't able to get it on the coyote because the loop on mine is kind of small. Probably could be adjusted. I don't know, but it got a little bit kinked, so it's not open as much as it should be. Today I worked on that, tried to fix it a little bit. Um, but as a dispatch method, it's pretty quick and it's bloodless. So
yeah. I do
so
that for bobcats.
yeah. Yeah, I don't need for bobcat, my actual catch pole can put them out really fast because bobcats, and they choke out real quick and easy.
Yeah,
But I did learn that sometimes they will relax and lose all your urine when you use that method. So if you want to keep their urine, you might want to use your gun,
yeah,
um, which I've had it work both ways, but I do like to collect their urine. I think it's like
yeah.
liquid gold for, my next bobcat spot.
I do too. And usually, for some reason, usually bobcats are full for the most part.
Yeah,
Of the ones I catch.
I wonder why that
Coyotes,
is.
a lot of times they're empty.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
it's like they save it up for us.
yeah, I guess maybe they're holding it all night or whatever. I guess
So
I guess some stuff like a canine is probably nervous. So like a dog will pee when he's nervous, so maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe cats don't. Maybe they have some other way to calm down. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I watch bobcats marking, but I feel like canines mark more. Just like if you watch a pet cat walk down the street, they're not going to stop at every fire hydrant and pee on it, but a dog
Right?
does. So maybe
Yeah.
a dog just inherently is a little more empty because they're just constantly marking, at least those males.
Yeah.
Um, this has been pretty awesome. Like I can talk forever, and I have like questions forever, and I can talk trapping forever, but I want to be sensitive to you too. We've been going about an hour. Maybe we can go a few more minutes, let our audience ask any questions you want of either of us. I know you guys have been chatting away with each other. I'm sorry I couldn't respond like I think someone said they couldn't see the chat. On my end, it's on the stage, so I'm sorry if you couldn't see it. Um, Mark says he started using Trapper's pole this year, just like the Death Ray, and it worked for him. Um, the nice thing about the catch pole is at least on mine, the cable has that plastic coating, and
Yeah,
it's it's really like flexible. But with the Death Ray, it's just the cable. So
yeah,
in fact, when I bought it from No BS, they gave me I'm looking at it up on the wall here. They gave me the replacement cable because I guess it's kind of common, especially with raccoons, that'll get kinked up on you and you have to replace it. Um,
yeah. I got mine. I don't think it's called Death Ray. I know I said I used it, but I have one that it has the pump. I got it. It's called the Trapper's pole, but it has the pump on it. So
yep. So, um, what's coming up for you? You said you're getting onto some new farms. Did you have anything that's coming up on your episodes that you want to shout out to your viewers? What's coming
um
up?
I'm about 4 episodes ahead, I think, on filming. So I think the next one that's coming out is going to be um land trapping. Just land trapping. Maybe the next 2 episodes. And then I go back to a little bit of water trapping and then back to right now what I'm doing. I pulled all my water sets because I didn't feel like there's any more beaver in that pond I was trapping. And I'm basically staying close to home until after bow season, and then it's all I'm gonna re-wax and dye all my traps to make sure I'm well equipped and start trapping that 1,000 acre hunting lease, and I'll finish out the last month and maybe month and 2 weeks on that. But it's gonna be land trapping. You'll see a couple land trapping in water and land trapping, and then back to land trapping. Right now, I'm just land trapping
Yep.
currently.
Awesome. For me, I'm getting after the bobcats now because they're prime, and I have 3 properties that I have not trapped yet. That I know there's bobcat on. I've caught bobcat in the past, so I'm probably going to concentrate on that. I got 3 different water spots that I'm going to go and get some beaver on, depending on how the weather is. I like to water trap when the weather gets real bad. I can get to the water and
Oh
know that my
yeah,
traps are working. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and then I won't struggle. I got in the corner here, I got 6 more 5-gallon buckets of wax dirt, so I think I'll be okay for getting through the month here on the land sets. Um, yeah, Coyote Whacker says it's important to get up real close behind the ears as possible when choking out a coyote. And somebody said they made their own catch pole. I lost it in the scroll, but thank you. They got some stuff from Harbor Freight. That was Jason. And bar clamp works fantastic. Cool. Trapper ingenuity. And
Hey,
breeding
you're
season's
welcome,
coming up.
Kim.
Yep. This has been really cool. It's so awesome to have so many people commenting and watching. And Enos, it's been a real pleasure to. I feel like I know you now because we spent a couple weeks back and forth getting this set up and meeting each other and
Yeah,
making sure that this could happen. And I'll be watching your videos. Thank you for everybody for subscribing. If you're new to my channel, I promise you, I just work hard. I may not be as I may not put as many videos out as Bluegrass Trapper, um, but I'm trying right now to at least get something out once a week or once every 2 weeks after my holiday break. But I do try to make each one unique, and I wouldn't if I wouldn't wanna watch it, I won't put it out. Like, I'm gonna put out what I like to watch. Um, and, if you're here from my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you watch the Bluegrass Trapper and subscribe to him. I love watching Yeah Buddy
Yeah.
because that's his go-to, Yeah Buddy, and it's always exciting to see what you're doing, and I learned something from watching your videos, and like we said before, you're down to earth and you're real about it.
Yeah, I try to be real and vice versa. If you're here on my channel, go over there and give Trapper Dan at Trapper SNORR your support. Great channel. I watch him and I try to do the same thing he does. We both work hard and it's a lot of work to create content and it's a lot of fun to trap, but it's also work as well. And but I enjoy it and I appreciate each and every one of y'all's support, and feel like there's something else I should be saying, but I really do appreciate everyone.
You should be saying, "Yeah, buddy."
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
That's the old habit I had, and it just stuck, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. I forgot to tell you that I have, my grandmother's from Kentucky.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, Pee Wee Valley.
Pee
I don't
Wee,
know.
I've heard of that
Yeah,
place.
that my grandmother's from Kentucky, but, my parents raised me in Vermont, and it's just, we've been down there for family reunions and stuff like that, but I haven't been down there much. But,
We should we should get together sometime and trap for a
yeah, that'd be
while.
awesome. I gotta get
Maybe
my
one
butt
day.
retired so that I have time to do that, but I'm loving that we got to be friends here remotely, and yeah, we got a future together, and, I'll be down there saying, "Yeah, buddy," with you one of these times, or you'll be up here. Gotta be ready
Yeah,
for the
buddy.
cold, though.
Yeah.
Awesome. Enos, have a great one. Thanks everybody for coming. Lots of great trapping. I wish everybody out there that's a trapper that's watching, good luck, everybody. I'm sure you're going to have some tight chains around the corner. We got a good season left here. And I wish you good luck in selling your furs if you do that, or taking care of them and making things out of everything you catch. And whatever you do, I wish you the best success.
Yep. Me too.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'll talk to you soon, Enos.
All right. Tight chains.
Tight chains, everybody.